want to thank everyone for coming. We're here in Elmhurst in the state of Illinois, and we are in a state of emergency in our state. We have water rising all over Illinois, especially in northeastern Illinois. There are communities that are really challenged by this flood. We're going to get through this, but I want to go through a few of the things that we need to do. We want to keep people off the roads as much as possible. We have a website, gettingaroundillinois.com, that gives the information from the Illinois Department of Transportation on what roads are not passable. It's no sense in getting on a road if you can't drive through it. So it's important to stay off those roads, and we want to encourage people to do that. We have our emergency management agency that was activated earlier this morning. The rain started in the middle of the night, and it's caused great harm, as we can see here in Elmhurst and many other communities. Rivers that are particularly challenged are the Des Plaines River, Fox River, Rock River, DuPage River, North Branch of the Chicago River, and also the Mississippi River. We have to understand that we respect nature. In our state, especially in the spring, we have a lot of water to begin with, and when it rains, many of these rivers can get swollen. We have monitors in each river and each waterway in Illinois to tell us what's in danger of flooding. And we have to be prepared not only today, but over the next several days for flooding in different parts of our state. Now, what we want to do is definitely help people who are water challenged right now. As we can see, the water rising. And so it's important that homeowners and our governments, we all have to work together. Our local police, our local firefighters are working with the state police, the Illinois Department of Transportation, and our Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and our state fire marshal. We've had to evacuate one hospital in Morris, Illinois, Christ Hospital, and I believe another hospital. Some patients from Resurrection are being removed and put in another hospital. So we have to do this together. We, as a family, when we have any kind of emergency, we work together for the common good, and we help each other. And that's what's so impressive. All of our emergency workers are working very hard, but we want to make sure that we understand that we'll get through this. We will prevail, but it's important that we do this together. So I want to bring forward now Jim Grabowski from the village of Elmhurst to talk a little bit about the damage in Elmhurst. It's been quite severe.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for being here. This morning we opened our EOC at approximately 4 a.m. Both our acting mayor, Levin, and our mayor-elect Morley were there, along with all of our staff. We've been trying to control what we can. As you said, Mother Nature is taking her wrath on this. As you said, please, we encourage people to stay off the roads, and if you do have to be somewhere, please slow down, because the water then creates a wave effect that will flood people's homes. We appreciate you being here. The mayor, acting mayor, has declared a state of emergency in Elmhurst, which we hope to then get some financial help to the residents that need it, and also some reimbursement to the city for the costs that we've incurred.
All right, Jim, why don't you mention some of the streets in Elmhurst that are particularly flooded and that we need to pay attention to?
As you mentioned, Governor, it's a regional issue. This is not just Elmhurst. This is all of DuPage County, eastern Cook County. It's everywhere. We have a number of our main roads that are shut down, mainly North Avenue. Over at 294 remains an issue. And then kind of our southwest area of town is experiencing some road flooding as well.
Okay. Now there's other parts of northeastern Illinois. I'm going to be going to Des Plaines very shortly, and then also River Forest. We know that Gurnee, next to the Des Plaines River, is having its own challenges, and different parts of our state. In LaSalle County, there's a trailer park that's underwater. Same way with Sycamore, and we had to have our state police help evacuate people there. So it's important that we understand that you have to respect nature. Individuals trying to take on floodwaters is not a very good idea. It's much better to try and stay home if you can, or at least stay away from these floodwaters that can come up at any moment. We could have flash flooding, and it's unpredictable, so we have to be very, very careful in Illinois, not just today, but our experts at the Illinois Department of Natural Resources are very concerned about the next few days that certain rivers in our state will reach record levels with respect to flooding that we've never seen before. Yes?
Governor, how long will it take for state financial assistance for those who need it?
Well, the way it works right now, we're in an emergency. We want to deal with the emergency, deal with preventing any kind of danger to human beings and prevent bad things from happening in the first place. Now, having gone through the flood in southern Illinois 2 years ago, it's very important that any residents who suffer any kind of damage keep track of the information, the facts, the figures, all of the specifics in order to get any kind of recovery. That's also true for our governments. There's public assistance that may be available if we have extensive damage. The governments also have to keep track of all the expenses that they've incurred in order to deal with the flood. Now, having said that, it is important right now for us to just help people get through this very serious matter. I also understand that we in Illinois, our state, which has lots of water, and we know that, we've got to invest in more flood control, stormwater management. I was just talking to the mayor-elect. This is something that is a public expenditure that we have to pay attention to, because when these days come, we can see how pervasive the flooding is and how dangerous it can be. Any other questions?
Have you reached out to the federal government as well?
Well, the moment we declared a state of emergency, or issued a state of emergency this morning, I did that in Springfield, the federal government is notified. Now, once you do that, you have access to more resources. For example, we need more sandbags in certain parts of Illinois, generators and pumps, because we do have to pump the water out. I was just talking to one of the homeowners here. They got 7 feet of water, I believe, in their basement. And it looks like you have seen that firsthand. And so, no, who wants that? You know, it's a very, very unpleasant situation, to say the least. But we want to have whatever resources necessary for our state, from whether it be the federal government or other agencies, where we can work together to deal with the emergency.
Governor, are you offering any specific help to Elmhurst today?
Well, the whole idea is every community is part of Illinois today. Whether it's LaSalle County, whether it's Quincy on the Mississippi River, or Elmhurst, or I'm going to Des Plaines, or any other town. Particularly towns that are pretty close to waterways that have flooded over their banks or close to doing that, we've got to pay special attention. I think part of what we have to do once we get through this emergency is assess in Illinois where we have to do more flood control and stormwater management. Those investments that we make in that area obviously prevent a lot of bad things from happening in the first place. Okay? Okay, Mayor, okay. Don't be shy here. Yeah, the Mayor knows firsthand from Westchester. We had a flood emergency, I believe
2010.
That was 2010, I was there. And we had a gathering in Westchester of communities that were flooded. Mayor, why don't you give us your remembrance of that, and also what we should do today?
This is deja vu. Westchester, Bellwood, Hillside, Broadview, we're in the same boat, so to speak, that we were a couple of years ago in 2010. I think, you know, we are contacting FEMA. We declared emergencies as well. And what I've asked FEMA to do since our last flood is to try knocking out that per capita $3.23 per person, that Cook County needs $17.2 million worth of damage before any of the municipalities get any assistance to try to rebuild municipal structures and things that are damaged in that. I probably have another 3,500 homes underwater today. This is deja vu. What I will say, we contacted Homeland Security. We're able to secure a generator. It's en route in case our pumps go down. But my 63 million gallon retention pond is right to the brim as we speak. So if that goes over, more than a good portion of the south end of town,
this is Westchester.
Right.
And Westchester has hundreds of homes that are being flooded right now.
Correct.
And so it's very, very important that every single homeowner have careful records of whatever damage they may be incurring and whatever expenses they have to incur. This is really, really important for the whole state of Illinois. Every resident has to pay attention on that, and then also the governments, we have to make sure we calculate our costs if we're going to receive any assistance.
The people that have called this morning crying that this is happening again. Some have lost their insurance as a result of the last floods. Sometimes it's a second and third time already. So we certainly need help in certainly the Elmhurst region as well, and also the neighbors to the east and the western Cook County as well. So,
okay, we're going to have the mayor of Lombard come forward. Come on, Mayor. Good to see you. Thank you for coming, Mayor Ware. And why don't you talk about Lombard, which is a little bit west of here.
Thank you. We're definitely underwater. We're probably 30 streets or so are totally submerged in water. We cannot get through. Most of our side streets are shut down. St. Charles and Main Street, can't get through anywhere there. We're telling people to try to stay home if you could. We're getting a ton of calls regarding basements and issues. We're having sandbags being delivered to try to help people. We're doing our best to stay up.
Okay, now Lombard and many other communities in DuPage County, then north of here in Des Plaines, when homeowners have flooding, it's important to keep track of any kind of damage.
Yes, please.
Specifics. And then, Mayor, say a few more things about the streets. We do not want people trying to drive through the water on the streets.
Whatever you do, please do not drive down the street. We have cars submerged underneath water. We can only sometimes see up to their windows. So whatever you do, there's usually barricades in front of the water. Don't try to go beyond the barricades. They're there for a reason. So please don't go any further.
Right. So, you know, we're a little bit concerned about flash flooding that may happen on certain of our waterways. So don't take anything for granted right now. This is an emergency. And we have to understand that in an emergency, we don't act like it's an ordinary day. It's definitely a situation of challenge, but we will get through this. That's why we have good mayors and good city managers. They understand that we come together in tough times and we prevail. And we have to understand that. That is really important. That's why we have our emergency people all across Illinois, our IDOT people. We're all working together.
Yes, and we appreciate all the residents that are trying to help. We have residents out there. I seen it this morning. I've been out since about 4 o'clock. All the residents are trying to help each other and the neighbors. But yeah, everybody, please be careful.
Okay.
Governor, can you tell us what you're expecting with another storm coming in? What we're expecting the rivers to do over the next 24 hours?
Well, hopefully they're going down a little bit now without the rain, but if it rains another couple inches, we're going to see the same thing we did at 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, and that's not going to be good.
What are they telling you from the Area Emergency Management, Governor?
Okay, we have the Department of Natural Resources, a water division. These are experts in hydrology, and we have monitors on all of our roadways all across Illinois. And what they do is they measure the water. They know the history of a particular river, and there's very grave concerns that certain waterways, the Des Plaines River, for example, are going to go way above flood stage. So we don't want to take anything for granted. We want to be prepared. On the Mississippi River, there's a great deal of concern from Quad Cities all the way down to Alton through Quincy. The Illinois River is a tributary of the Mississippi. Many communities that are on the tributaries, we want to be careful with them. So the bottom line is we don't want any more rain, but if it comes, we got to understand that if our state comes together and works together, we don't do things that are not prudent, we can get through this. But we may have higher water in certain parts of Illinois, and that's what our emergency management people do. They battle the flood. We don't want folks trying to take necessary chances and risks that would endanger themselves or their property. Yeah, you want to get in here, Jim? Yeah.
If I recall, I was out here on the same street 2 years ago. Same kind of flooding. Is that right?
Yeah, in 2010 we experienced a storm that actually was less than what we experienced last night. Rainfall-wise, we have gotten more rain than we did now or in 1987. The city's been working on a stormwater plan. We've spent in excess of $1 million to work on the stormwater and the sanitary water. And now we're looking to partners such as the state or FEMA to help us fund those programs.
What do you say to all those people? Man,
If you look to the north and you look to the south and you look at that street, all those streets are dry. Right? It's a regional problem, I understand. There's a reason you picked this block, because it's always underwater. Always.
and I mean, there was so much frustration, those past couple of years. Now maybe you didn't know this governor exactly. But
Well, no, I talked to the mayor-elect. I think all over our state, not only here in Elmhurst, but other places, we've got to do more for storm water management and flood control. We need to invest money, public money, in order to protect the people and property in different parts of Illinois. I think we know from history that floods do occur, particularly in the spring, and they can cause great damage and loss of life. In southern Illinois, it was 2 years ago. Now we're in northeastern Illinois. So we just have to rise up and work together to deal with the emergency now, but also we will assess whether it's in Westchester or Lombard or Elmhurst or north of here in Des Plaines or Gurnee or anywhere else. We've got to find ways that we can prevent flooding and stormwater in the future. Yeah. Oh, come on over. Okay, Harwood Heights.
Thank you.
All right, come on over.
I appreciate that you saying that we have to do more for stormwater management. Certainly right now we have to be faced with FEMA and try to get some disaster relief for those people that have experienced a loss. But I know that we are thankful for all the paving and the funds that we get for that, but we really need to concentrate what's going on underneath those streets. And this stormwater management is the way to go. We really need to budget.
Mayor, now you're from Harwood Heights.
Harwood Heights,
Why don't you just describe what's happening in your community now?
We have all pockets of roads, impassable roads. We have basements. Our police department and our office staff has taken pages and pages of people with flooded basements and impassable streets and water still standing, and we're expecting more water, and we've already put 2 detentions holding each one of them 300,000 gallons of water, and you know what? It's not good enough. We need to expand that and put detentions under our streets so water has somewhere to go, because we're all landlocked.
Okay, well said, Mayor.
Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Your local police, your local fire department, just like in Westchester and Elmhurst and Lombard, we really want to salute all these emergency workers, because they've been out all night through the morning. Now we're in the afternoon. It's all started in the middle of the night, and we have to be aware that it could get more rain coming.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we get through this, get through it together. If we hang in there, we can do it. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yeah.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. I'm Arlene Giserni, Mayor of Harwood Heights.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go to Des Plaines now, and I think we've said what had to be said, and I want to thank the people here. You're the heart and soul of Illinois, and we believe that our people can handle anything, and that's what we got to do.